Welcome to the hand tool activity. You're going to learn how to properly use each tool in the toolbox, and hopefully you'll ask questions and you'll learn how to use each one and know what their names are. The purpose of this activity is for you to safely use each tool and see what the tool does. I'm not so worried about you having to finish a animal. We'll talk about that. There's some templates for you to choose from. Think about how you might use fewer tools, even though we're going to try to use all the tools this time. Make a safety check is the first thing we do. Safety glasses are available for you. Your hair and jewelry are up and out of the way. No lanyard on, and your workspace is clean. That is your first thing you need to do. Get your wood, and you'll see wood over in the corner. Remember, you can only do this if you have the general safety 100%, the toolbox safety 100%, and then also the parent permission form. As soon as I get all those three, you can get rocking on this. So you get your wood, then you need to choose what's going to be the front of the piece and the back. And you'll notice up here, this obviously is not a great piece of back, but the front looks really good. There's a little crack down here, but that's okay. Don't worry too much about that. Maybe when we put the thing on it, we'll cut past that. Then you can choose a template, and these are just cardboard templates. And also, if you don't want to use a template, you just want to, you have your piece of wood here, and you want to go ahead and just cut a piece off with the scroll saw and label it scroll saw, and do some rasping and that sort of stuff. We'll talk about that as we get further along. Trace the template. That's what these pencils work great for right here. Just trace around it. Okay. And make sure you hold this firmly down while you do that. And when you're done, it should look something like that. And you'll see that, for example, I really can't see it here, but the crack is over here, so it's out of the way. On the back of your piece, stamp, and make sure you stamp it where the fish is. Stamp your initials and also the period. You'll see here, sometimes you'll get them backwards. That's a K, that's an E that's backwards, that's a B that's backwards, and period 1, it's a 1. It's okay if it's backwards like that. You'll see it's pretty easy to do. To try to get them in order, and also make sure it's on the piece that you're going to have. You don't have to hit really hard. See, I hit pretty hard here and here. These are about the right depth. Don't worry if you do hit them too hard. Also, please put these letters back where they go. It saves everybody time. Then either you're going to use the rough cut, you're going to just take a piece off with the miter or the rough cut saw. I just want you to feel what it is. You don't really have to use the rough cut saw at all. It really does move through the wood pretty quick. You'll notice that I'm using a clamp here to hold down the piece. The clamp is out of the way of the path. Notice that nothing is in the way of the path. Matter of fact, not even my body. Nobody's in front of me here. And I'm holding it just to kind of stabilize myself so that I can go ahead and cut through this. Scroll saw cuts. Okay. Now I did one here and it really wasn't a good idea because you get there and you need a curve. So start at an angle and then go along the direction you want to go. You can see where I use the rough cut saw and the scroll saw just to test them out. Okay, so what's nice about a scroll saw is it can make these nice even curves as you go through. And you'll see that there's still some on there, and we can just take care of that with the files. And if there's a lot, like in here, we can take care of that with the rasps. Okay, now if you're just taking a piece of wood and you're just testing each of the tools, like this is a round rasp, it says round rasp under there, just go ahead and put that, okay? And you'll see this is where we have right here, this is the half round, okay? And also notice how I'm holding this. I'm actually holding that pretty firmly and carefully. This is a flat rasp. If I don't hold this firmly, I can actually pull that and then actually remove some skin. We don't want to do that. You can also wrap that with a shop towel or something like that too. And that's a way to also make it so you can hold it firmly. Okay, sometimes you just got to do that. Use the files, take off the rest of the wood slowly. I don't have a picture necessarily of a file here. Um, that's okay. We're going to go ahead and chisel out one or more details. So I'm going to use a chisel as well. And I decided to make a triangle here. Okay. And so I hit all three together. And then when I was done, I went and took a smaller file. This is actually a smaller round, the other one. And I kind of popped it underneath, and then I kind of scraped it a couple times, and out came a big piece. And ended up with a little triangle there. So you can see the miter cut here. It's labeled. The coping saw, I made a cut, and this is the round cut. You can also do the fish or the dog and that sort of stuff. If you do the cat, you got to be careful around the tail, otherwise it's going to break off. So now it's your turn. You got to use each tool. That's the goal here. Ask for help if you need it. Do not force the tool or try to go very fast. Okay, if you force the tool, that's when the tools break, especially the coping saws. It's going to take a while. It's going to take more than one class period. Well, that's okay. You know, you can either make an animal from the templates. I'll put an S there. Or you can just use each tool and write what you use so you get familiar with the tool. That's really what this is all about. Okay, and that's actually what you're going to be graded on, is that you basically can show me you used each tool, and that's it.